What's up, awesome YouTubers? Ryan1988 or Justin back here to do a video for you guys, and in this video I'm here to do a Blu-ray update, and it's going to be entitled Horror Movies Plus More, because originally this was all going to be just horror movies, but I forgot some from my previous update to show you guys, so I'm going to show those off. I've also picked up some stuff, some upgrades that I want to talk about. And I also have a package from my buddy Pat from Canada, Montreal. So I'm going to show off the 3 Blu-rays that he sent me. So I hope you guys enjoy this update. There is a lot of Blu-rays to show you, so I'm going to go through these pretty quick. But again, I hope you guys enjoy the update and have a great week, everyone. So getting started are the Blu-rays that I got from my buddy Pat. The first one I got was Boogie Nights, which I have not seen this in probably almost 10 years, but I remember loving this movie, and I had it on DVD at one point, but I don't have it anymore, so for me, I wanted to get this on Blu-ray. So this is one of the things that I got from the trade with my buddy Pat, and I can't wait to rewatch this movie. Like I said, it's been almost 10 years since I've seen this, and I'm a big Mark Wahlberg fan, so for me, this is great to add in the collection. Great movie. And then the last 2 things that he sent me were 2 Madonna Blu-rays, and they were from her 2 previous concerts before the Rebel Heart concert, and that is the Sticky and Sweet concert, or tour that she did, and the MDNA world tour. And I'm happy to have these on Blu-rays. I'm a big Madonna fan. I've always been ever since I've been a kid, or since I was a kid. And for me, these are awesome to own on Blu-ray. I saw her in concert with her Rebel Heart tour when she came here to Kentucky, and I absolutely loved that. Fantastic show, and for me it was just really just awesome, and it seems unreal to have seen her in concert. It was a surreal moment for me, and I absolutely loved seeing her in concert live. But to own these on Blu-ray are awesome, and she really does do great shows, gives out great performances. And I absolutely loved both of these, and I loved seeing her live, like I said. But my favorite one out of the 2 definitely has to be MDNA. I thought that show was fantastic. But her other Blu-ray and her other World Tour concert, Sticky and Sweet, was a great show as well. So happy to own these. So thank you so much, Pat, for these 3 Blu-rays, and I'm looking forward to our another trade. But I wanted to show these off. Just awesome, buddy. Thank you so much for sending these once again. And thank you for the trades that we do. So that's awesome. You rock, Pat. The next 2 Blu-rays I got were upgrades. I had these on DVD at one point. Got rid of them. There's movies sometimes that I get rid of that I want to rewatch. But for me, personally, these are 2 movies that are my least favorites in the series. Or 2 of my least favorites. But I wanted to own them on Blu-ray because I had the other films, and I thought, you know what, with the 8th film coming out next year, I want to rewatch this whole series, and so I got 2 Fast and 2 Furious, and Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Got these really cheap online, brand new, so I had to pick these up. Like I said, I kind of want to own the whole series, and even though these aren't 2 of my favorites, they're fun watches. They're not completely terrible. So I wanted to own these ones, and I'd say 2 Fast, 2 Furious is probably my least favorite one in the series, but like I said, still fun watches. They're mindless, popcorn fun movies, and just enjoyable. So I picked those up. The next one I got is probably one of my least favorite Avengers assembly line movies, but I love the second movie. The 3rd one's coming out, and so I wanted to get this on Blu-ray. And I found this really cheap on eBay. It was used, but it was in good condition, and that is Captain America, the First Avenger. You know, it's not completely terrible. I think my problem with this movie is that it's really slow, and I've only seen this movie a couple times, so usually when I watch a movie for a 3rd time, I enjoy it a lot more if I didn't like it the first or the second time. So I'm looking forward to rewatching Captain America this week before Civil War comes out. I'm going to watch this one and Winter Soldier and do a double feature sometime this week. So I definitely had to get this one and upgrade it for my DVD copy that I had. So Captain America, the First Avenger, like I said, really cheap. So The next two are upgrades as well. I have not opened them yet because I haven't watched them on Blu-ray yet. But the first one is Howard the Duck on Blu-ray. Got this for like $8.99 plus shipping, so it wasn't too bad. And I'm a big Howard the Duck fan. I love Howard the Duck. I grew up with this movie. It's definitely not a film for a young kid when you rewatch it as an adult. There's definitely a lot of adult humor and references throughout this film. But I love the film. Like I said, I grew up with it. So for me, this is definitely worth owning on Blu-ray. And I got it for a really good price. So Howard the Duck. And the last one I got was, when I ordered these two, Phantom of the Opera, the 2004 film by Joel Schumacher. This movie got a lot of flack when it came out, but I personally love this movie. And for me, this is always one that I wanted to upgrade on Blu-ray because it is one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite musicals. So I had to get that one. And again, I got this for really cheap, $8.99 plus shipping online, so can't beat that. The next one I actually got this from work for $12.99. And that is Creed. Still have not watched it yet, but I'm a big Rocky fan, so for me, I wanted to own the series, and I have the previous films in a box set. Not a big fan of 5, but definitely wanted to get Creed and add it in my collection. And from what people say, this is the best one since the first Rocky movie, so I definitely wanted to pick it up, and I'm going to check it out soon. And like I said, I wanted to own this movie on Blu-ray since I have the other Rocky films, and I've heard nothing but positive things, so Creed. The next one I got was, again, one that I have not watched yet. You just saw it, The Revenant, but I'm a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan and Tom Hardy fan, and I loved the previous director's first movie, Birdman. Not his first movie, but his previous movie, Birdman. That one really took me by surprise because I wasn't expecting much from it. But The Revenant, I've heard nothing but positive things about this movie as well, so it was one that I wanted to get and own. And I love this edition because it does come with a really cool slipcover. You open it up, and there's some images there. So that's awesome. So looking forward to watching this. And again, it's going to be one I'm going to watch this week. So The Revenant. The next one I got was an actual upgrade. I had the standard Blu-ray, and I try not to upgrade anymore unless it's a movie that I absolutely love and I can get a good price on it. And this I saw at Target for, I think it was $9.99, and it's the Super 8 Metal Pack Steelbook thing. I think it's just called Metal Pack. But I love that artwork. Definitely better than that artwork in my opinion. It feels like a classic 80s poster artwork there with all the images. So got that for really cheap. So I could not pass it up. And it has some cool images in the inside, so not too bad. But I personally love this. In my opinion, it's a very underrated film. Not a lot of people talk about this, and I would say it's probably my second favorite J.J. Abrams movie. Next to Star Wars, because I love Star Wars, The Force Awakens. But I'm a big J.J. Abrams fan. I think every film that he's come out with, I have not been disappointed in. I love the Star Trek movies he did, I love Star Wars, and I love Super 8. So this one took me really by surprise because I wasn't expecting to love it as much. And it has that, 80s childhood films, Goonies, Monster Squad, that 80s feel that you have when you watch those childhood movies, so if that makes sense. But yeah, had to own Super 8. And now going into the horror movies, and I'm going to go through these pretty quick. I'm sorry if this video is going through pretty quick, but I have a lot here and I just want to show them off and talk about them briefly. But the first one I got was The Green Inferno. Not one of my favorite movies of last year. Definitely not terrible. Sorry, my nose is itching. Definitely not terrible, but definitely not one of my favorites. I'd say this is probably a 3 or 3.5 out of 5 for me. The movie, and I don't get disturbed by a lot of movies, all the time. It's very rare for me to get disturbed by movies. But this one disturbed me a little bit, and it's one that, even though I enjoy it, I can only watch it every so often. But it's definitely one I wanted to get because I'm a big Eli Roth fan, besides Knock Knock and some of the movies he's produced in the past. You know, I own Cabin Fever, I own the Hostel movies, and this is one that I wanted to add to the collection, so Green Inferno. I got some Scream Factory titles here. The first one just came out this past Tuesday, and it's Death Becomes Her. Absolutely love this movie, grew up with it, and I definitely had to own this one. So I picked up Death Becomes Her. I'm so happy this got released on Blu-ray. I did not expect Scream Factory to release this title. This one kind of shocked me. You know, this wasn't something that I would think Scream Factory would want to release or be interested in releasing, but they did, and they put a lot of, from what I've read, a lot of good bonus features on this, so not too bad. And of course, it comes with some different artwork, but I've always been a fan of that artwork there, so Death Becomes Her. The next one I got was, and the next, I think, the last four are Scream, or the next four are Scream Factory titles. But this one's a double feature of Curse and Curse 2. Saw the first Curse, you know, thought it was okay. I was a little bit disappointed in it. I think if you grew up with the film, you would like it more than I did, but I thought it was okay. Still haven't seen Curse 2 yet, so I plan to watch that soon. But I hear it's definitely far different from the first movie, and in fact, you know, they just called it Curse 2 to call it Curse 2. So, but yeah, I had to pick that up, and I definitely wanted to check out both these movies. Like I said, the first one's okay in my opinion. It could have been better, but I'm just happy to own this, so not too bad. But speaking of another movie, let me get this real quick. The next Scream Factory title that I just pulled out of my shelf is Village of the Damned. I did not have this in my stack, and you know, I'm talking about Scream Factory movies, so I had to talk about this one. Village of the Damned, this is the 1995 or 96 John Carpenter remake of the original 60s movie or 50s movie. And I've never seen the original film, but I grew up with this Carpenter flick. I loved it as a kid, loved it over the years, and I rewatched it, and I still love the movie. I think it's a very underrated 90s horror movie and John Carpenter film. But for me, it was definitely worth picking up. And again, kind of one that I was surprised that they released, because this movie doesn't really get talked about very much. And when people talk about it, most of the time they don't like it. But I know there's some fans out there that enjoy it. Tongue twisters. But I'm one that enjoys it. I love it. And it's definitely one I wanted to get on Blu-ray. And again, also surprised with the bonus features, because they do have a lot of bonus features on here, including an almost hour-long documentary talking about the film with the cast, the crew, and John Carpenter. And it's really interesting watching that documentary, because there's a lot of stuff that, you know, I personally did not know when they were making this movie and the aftermath of the film. And so it's just really interesting to watch that documentary, and for me, it's one of Scream Factory's best documentaries in quite a long time. And so they put a lot of detail in this release. The transfer looks and sounds great. I'm very happy with that. And of course, they have the original artwork right there. So that's awesome. So yeah, if you're a fan of the original or the remake of Village of the Damned, definitely pick this up. It's worth getting if you're a fan of this movie, so definitely want to get that. The next one I got was another film that's underrated, and I'm surprised that it got the bonus features that it did. You know, it's a very it's a 90s or late 80s little horror movie gem that you either like or you don't like. And I personally liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and that is The Guardian. Definitely a B movie for William Friedkin, but I think when they made this movie, they were hoping for like an A-list type of film, and they really didn't get that. But I still enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't think it's the bad movie that a lot of people say it is. Is it The Exorcist? No. But I think if you take this movie and just enjoy it as a B movie, I think you'll like it. So, The Guardian, I had to pick that one up. I've always wanted to see this, and for the longest time, the old Anchor Bay DVD was out of print. But this does come with a lot of bonus features. I was really surprised with that. There's a list of them. And I was happy with a lot of the bonus features. Again, you know, with these bonus features and documentaries that Scream Factory releases, you really get to know a lot of the movie behind the scenes and what happened making the film and the aftermath of the movie. And this is one of those movies. So, The Guardian. A lot of changes went into this script, which I was really surprised with. It wasn't originally supposed to be a supernatural movie. It was actually just going to be about, you know, a nanny who's a dark, you know, nanny. And they kind of made it a supernatural film. So, The Guardian, though, had to pick that up. Got it for a good price, so I wanted to get that. The next one is a 90s horror movie or thriller, and one that I was surprised, again, kind of like Village of the Damned, that they released this movie. And it's Disturbing Behavior. No bonus features besides, I think, a commentary with the director and deleted scenes, but I think those were passed on from the old DVD. But yeah, I had to pick up Disturbing Behavior. I had a lot of fun with this movie when I first saw it, and rewatching it a few weeks ago, I still enjoyed this movie. So for me, this was definitely one that I wanted to own in the collection, and I got it for a really good price, so I couldn't beat that. So, Disturbing Behavior. And the last Scream Factory title that I have, and I have another one that I totally forgot, Cherry Falls, but maybe I'll show that in another video, but another great release from them. Just wish I would never have forgotten it. But I'm not going to pull it out, it's way up top. But yeah, Cherry Falls, let me talk about that real quick. I love that movie, and I had to pick that one up. Great bonus features on that, just a really cool Blu-ray that Scream Factory released. So going on to the next and last Scream Factory title is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 on Blu-ray. This is the 85 sequel to Tobe Hooper's original movie. Wow, can't speak. Tobe Hooper's original movie. There we are. And kind of an underrated little movie. This movie came out, I don't think it did so well, and, you know, this movie is kind of mixed by fans. You know, if you're a fan of the series as a whole, most of the time you definitely like this movie. But if you're just a fan of the original and you watch this, you're probably not going to be too crazy about it. But I know this movie has its own little cult following, and I'm one that personally loves it. It's a lot of fun. It's not as dark as the original movie. They kind of took a different spin on that. I think from what I've heard, Tobe Hooper wanted to make the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, have humor in it. He wanted humor in that movie, and that's what his intentions were. But it wound up just being a straight-up horror movie, where this one's just a lot more fun. And you can definitely see that throughout the film. And it's one that I wanted to upgrade from DVD, then my old Blu-ray, and now this Blu-ray, because I'm a fan of this. And I love that artwork. Amazing. And again, loaded with bonus features. I have not watched the bonus features yet, and I haven't watched the transfer yet. But from what I've heard, they transferred a lot of the bonus features from the previous special edition DVD and Blu-ray on this edition. And plus, you get more bonus features. So that's awesome, and you get that new artwork, but you get that classic kind of Breakfast Club style 80s artwork there. So that's awesome. So 2-disc edition, really cool. I'll show that off. You get the other alternate artwork. That was one of the original posters there. And I believe this is the feature film and the bonus features. So really awesome. Definitely glad to own that in the collection. So awesome. And the next one is an Arrow edition, and you know, Arrow for me, I love them. They're a little bit pricey, so for me, I'm always kind of picky on which Arrow movies I want to get. But when I get their releases, I'm really happy with them because they really put a lot of thought into their releases when it comes to the transfer and the bonus features. And I'm excited to dig into this movie, and that's The Stuff. I've seen this movie once. It's been about 4 years or 5 years since I've seen it. But I remember having a lot of fun with it, so for me, when they announced that they were releasing a US edition of The Stuff, I had to pick it up. And again, loaded with bonus features. I haven't dug into it yet, so once I have a day off and I have a little bit more free time, I'm definitely going to watch this and check out this little popcorn fest of a movie. So, had to pick that one up. And of course, you get alternate artwork, which I'll show you. Right there. I like the new artwork though, I think that's awesome. And you get a booklet, which I'll pull out real quick and show you. So pretty cool. It's a pretty thick booklet, so not too bad. But yeah, I definitely had to own this one and get it on Blu-ray And there's the Blu-ray disc right there. And the last thing I'm going to show you is another horror movie that came out recently on Blu-ray this past Tuesday. And again, one that I had to get because I saw this movie in theaters twice. I absolutely loved it. I say it's in the lines of like those dark 80s comedy, horror comedies that came out like Gremlins. And that is Krampus, whichever way you want to call it. This is directed and written by Michael Dougherty, who directed and wrote Trick or Treat from 2007 or 2009, however way you want to put that movie when it came out. But I love Trick or Treat, just an awesome Halloween themed movie that I watch every year. And now Michael's released a Christmas horror movie, and I absolutely love this film. It's not as good as Trick or Treat, but for me it's up there, and it's one I had to own on Blu-ray because I saw it twice in theaters. Absolutely loved it. Rewatched it again on Blu-ray, and love it still. I think it's an awesome film, so had to get that one on Blu-ray. Fantastic. So yes, Krampus. So that is my update, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't go too quick when, recording this video or making this video. But I had a lot to show you, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be lengthy anyway, because I do talk a lot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be back soon with another update or another video for you. I'm thinking of showing off the new Blu-ray setup or movie setup, because I did change it. It's a different background. I love this background. And all my movies are in my horror/movie room, so it's awesome. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next video. And as always, you guys are awesome. You guys rock. In with a positive, out with the negative. And go eat some Skittles, guys. And I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.